Hello and welcome. I'm the Theory Detective. In these lessons we'll uncover the mystery of music theory. Now that we've learned about a whole bunch of minor keys, let's find out what the dominant and subdominant, or the 5 chord and the 4 chord, are in those keys. Let's start with A minor. I'm going to put a lowercase a and then lowercase natural minor, because for now we're going to leave it in its natural form. Remember, minor has a few other forms. We'll learn about those in later levels, but for now I want to deal with the natural minor, and then we'll talk about a little bit of the alterations. So right here you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then A again. So I'll go ahead and number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 again. You can also put an 8 at the top in parentheses, because 1 is the same as 8, and 8 would remind you of the octave. From the A to the A would be 1 octave, or 8. Okay, so our 1 chord would be A, skipping up to C, skipping up to E, and that would build our chord. Listen to it. The A, skipping up to C, skipping up to E, and here's the chord right there. A, skipping up to C, skipping up to E, and we have a nice strong minor chord. I'll do it up here. There we are. Now to have the 5 chord, we're going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that gives us our 5 chord. Right here, there's our E. We start over here. There's our E. E skipping up to G, skipping up to D, and that forms our 5 chord. So I'll go ahead and play that. There we are. There's our 5 chord. And to do the 4 chord, this would be our dominant. And this I'll go ahead and label our tonic. To do our 4 chord, we're going to start at the top and count down. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's our subdominant, sub meaning below. So there's our D chord. So we're going to build it here, our D, D skipping up to F, skipping up to A, and that builds our 4 chord. I'm going to go ahead and take the 4 away, and also all of these, so we don't get confused. Remember, we always number from the bottom up, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1 again. Okay, so now that we have our chords lined up, let's talk a little bit about the minor. Now, I said we're doing natural minor, and in natural minor, we have just the basic scale, the way it originally is, its original form. But we have a little bit of problem when we deal with the chords. You see, the minor, it's based on the 1 chord, or the tonic chord. So if it's a minor scale or a minor key, then we would be dealing with a minor chord. That's fine. And the subdominant, right here, I'm going to put subdominant. The subdominant, it has no problem being major or minor. Say if the 1 chord was actually major, then the subdominant would actually be major. So the subdominant has no problem being major or minor. The issue, though, comes with the dominant. Dominant is so strong. It's more powerful than the subdominant chord. It's even more powerful than the tonic chord, really. It's arguably the most powerful chord we have, but it has a fatal flaw. It loses its power once you change it to minor. I'll give you the E minor here. That the dominant no longer drives us to the 1. It can be a very pretty sound, it can be a nice sound, it can be an interesting sound, but it doesn't have that punch to it that we're looking for in a dominant sound. So what we've done is basically changed all of the 5 chords to be major. So when we deal with the dominant, we are always dealing with a major sound. Now in this case we have the E chord. If you remember from E, you want major in general, you want a whole step and then a whole step. So right here, now the second note actually doesn't matter from the scale, that would be the F, or the F or F sharp if you're talking about the key of E. But it doesn't matter because we're not dealing with that note. We're actually just dealing with this interval, the third. And we want it to be a major sound. Right now it's a minor sound. The top note is too low. So we're going to raise it back up to be the major sound. It's still a third, it's still a skip, but it's just a little bit bigger. I'll play that again. E, and then this would be G sharp. Let me add in the sharp for you. So we have E, G sharp, and then our B. E, G sharp, and then our B. And all together, now we have a major sound, and that gives us our dominant. So we have major sound, and then minor. And that gives us the powerhouse we're looking for. So our rule is dominant must be major. Always, always, always. Dominant must be major. Or ultimately, we can't call it the dominant chord. So we have to lose that term. So let's take a look at what that means for these guys here. Well, for a minor, we like to use lower case. So we're going to give it a lowercase I, and I'll put that down here. I for the 1 chord, so it's still Roman numeral, but we use the lowercase to mean the minor. And then the 4 is also minor, so we'll do lowercase for that. I, and then B, Roman numeral 4, but in lowercase for minor. But E has stayed major, so we have to make that big and capital. I'm going to go ahead and reinforce it across the top and the bottom to make sure that you see that it is capital. So lowercase for minor, here's the 1, here's the 4, and then capital for the major, and there's our 5. So 1 and 4, minor, and then 5 stays major, and you have to add in some kind of extra accidental or change to it to make it major. Minor, minor, and then major. Alright, go ahead and take out your flashcards. On the first one, the 1 chord, make sure that it's lowercase. This is the key or scale of A minor, and of course it is the A minor chord. And if you remember your A minor chords from when we learned the chords, it's A, skip up to C, skip up to E. So A, C, E. And then we have our 4 chord. Our 4 chord in the key or scale of A minor, and that is our D minor chord. Make sure they're all in lowercase, both the D and the M for minor. And then finally our 5 chord, and this has to stay capital because it's major. And then, of course, E major chord. That is our 5 chord. All capital for major. Go ahead and add those to your practice pile and practice them as much as you can until they become so easy. And as always, have a great day.